to go without the tennis. First off, let me say, Mom, I never heard that story. I thought that Dad talked about knowing how to box, but I thought that was all time. My brother's the one that's actually really into boxing, and we always thought that there was a true Jason would try to, work out, and my dad would try to give him pointers. And really, that was kind of both of us. Anytime our dad tried to butt in and give us pointers on anything, it was at least me, I would just try to shut him out. I am Gerald. I was the son, either the first or the second most stubborn son. My dad, for me, taught me a lot of things. He got me interested in trying to take care of things around the house. I think is maybe first memory off the top of my head. As a kid, one of the few times that I listened to him, he taught me how to change the oil on our cars, and which has proved to be a valuable piece of knowledge and being able to maintain our own things. Because I know, how many of you know, he does not throw anything away. He will fix it until it needs to be fixed again by a professional, and he will continue to fix it. Case in point. One of my earlier memories was, I don't know how many in the congregation were around when he had his most coveted possession, the I believe is 86 or 87 Ford Aerostar. When he first bought that Aerostar, it was off of, I think it's Coggin, the Coggin dealership right up there in the corner of Atlantic and St. John's Bluff, still there. I distinctly remember being a kid, he bought the vehicle, we got in, it started raining, and the first thing that happened, it was a waterfall in the back of the van. That should have been the first red flag. There were many red flags after that. The time where maybe you know this, he was trying to get home from work, and I'm still in high school. Woke me up at whatever time that he got. My dad worked late at the post office, and he was getting mad at me that the Ford Aerostar was breaking down, and that I had to bring the other car to help jump it. But he wouldn't let go of that vehicle. Not until, unfortunately, finally he caved in and bought finally. But he does not let things go. Anyways, that kind of instilled in me not to be wasteful, at least eventually. Me being rebellious, I spent my money on a lot of things until the point where I had to admit that I don't have any money left. Yeah, I should be more frugal. Yeah. The other thing, he tried to teach us tennis too, or at least with me. I still remember one time when we were kids, but he dropped us off at the YMCA. And all the kids had like the newer tennis rackets, and he gave me a wooden tennis racket that like Patrick McEnroe played with in 1970, whatever it was. It was wooden, like it looked like a racquetball. I couldn't hit that. I was afraid of the game. Looked at the kids with all the newer tennis rackets, and he really did try to push tennis on us, didn't he? I say that I'm probably the second most stubborn. He's pretty stubborn. I'm going to say that. The other thing I'll say is that I remember that when he took him to the church, he was very strong about saving souls. All the stories from the other people that stood up here are absolutely true. Very few things, if nothing, mattered more to him than his faith in Jesus and Golden Corral. That is very true. That when Golden Corral in its heyday was probably his favorite. I noticed with some of the pictures, I'm very much going to be around. I noticed one of the pictures, everyone there, they were in their military dress. And I laughed to myself because he was there in BU's, Alaska, and he had the rank. And I didn't know he took that picture. And I said to myself, where did he get that? That's mine. And I'm glad it fits. And I'm glad he at least put it on correctly, as well as he could. I do remember when so it was my dad, Jason, when he dropped me off to go to MEPS, because I had joined him. I had tried to join the Air Force first, and I think that the Air Force recruiter laughed. And this was during the Iraq War. Then I tried the Navy. I thought it went torn. Continue the long tradition. But as you can tell by the pictures, my mom and my dad love cruises. They love traveling the world, seeing the world. Most parts I already see, Mom, when I was in the Navy. Already been there, is what he would say. The other thing he would say was, Dad, do not say that. But I learned while going on a cruise with my mom that I can't do this. And he made fun of me. He would go, I was in the Navy, you were there in this China Sea, and he would do this thing where he would try to be eating his tray of food, and the food would be sliding off the tray and whatever. Just him doing that motion. With the cruise ship, I said I could feel the stabilizers, I could feel when it's turning. I couldn't. I think the first couple of days on that cruise, I had to sit. I had to find the middle of the boat because that's where the rock was. So we held that open. And then I held over and said, "Yeah, I'm joining the army. And I'm going to go ahead and deploy it to Iraq." He shared that one of his biggest fears was that I would never perform close. But everything was okay. And he believed that years ago. I came back. The first thing we did, we didn't go to but we went out. And everything was fine. But I think back to that time. At that time, it was dangerous, but I was the only person in my platoon who had never seen combat or anything. I never shot around. I was never near an IED. I after I came back, um, I tried staying at home again, trying to find a job at the beginning of the recession. You can think back to that time, which is pretty tough. I had moved back in with my parents after being stationed in Kansas. And anytime that I come back home, I just feel like no time has changed. We're still kids. I think we all thought, he's getting sick, but we were all surprised. Because up until that point, he had lived life like every day. Like he lived life every day. Tend to the house, tend to the chores. On Sundays, you go to church. After church, machine. Or earlier, go driving. Go to Tennessee, go to Hollywood. Follow your son. Hey son, we're in Bollywood. Congratulations. So when he did feel hard of breathing, we were worried, but as soon as they did the tests, and then I guess after all the medicines, the first thing out of his mouth is, one, Mommy, we gotta go Bible study. Two, get out, make sure you call Bug out to check all the termite stations around the house. Life would go on as usual. The same thing, it was the same thing during and after rehab. Dad would go through rehab, and it was tough. But as soon as you got better, it would be back to emotional. Take care of the house, get the mail, go to church. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think that at any point, from his point of view, that there was any worry. There was nothing to worry about. Because he reminded us of the things to do. And that is faith in God, regardless of the outcome. Let's see. He was okay. To see everyone here who his goofiness has touched. His life was very meaningful.